Welcome back, this is Stoney, and we have something super exciting to show you. I guarantee you, you've never seen this before, and it might just make your classifying a whole bunch faster. Let me show you. Traditionally, we have to use a bucket and a classifier. This one's at 1/8 inch. It's kind of my go-to classifier of what I use. The pain in the butt about it is that it takes a long time. You gotta fill your bucket with water, you shovel your contents in here, you go like this. All the heavier stuff goes to the bottom, all the lighter stuff stays on top, and it won't go through the mesh. Then you dump this out, you rinse and repeat until your bucket is totally full. Now, I came up with a solution based off of a video I just saw the other day on Facebook, and it really got me thinking of how possibly I can make this process a lot faster and a lot more fun. So this is exactly what I was working on the past few days. It's a fluid bed classifier that uses air pressure. I've never seen one of these before. I have not tried this yet, but like I said, that video that I saw on Facebook, I'm gonna put at the bottom of the screen, when they added to a tote sand and air pressure, it liquefied the sand and made everything float on top, all the light stuff float on top. So I was thinking, man, I could use that for a classifier idea. Let me break this down, I'll show you, and we'll put it to the test and try and find some gold today. So this is a 2-bucket air pressurized classifier. Say that 8 times fast. The first bucket that goes on top is the classifier itself. This is what you're gonna dump all your material into, just shovel it in, and it's gonna get classified down to whatever size you want it to be. I went ahead and put 1/4 inch holes all throughout the bottom. I might actually put some holes around the bottom, like 3 inches right here as well. This is gonna help the material to settle into the bottom bucket. Now, this bottom bucket is where all the magic happens. A couple things are gonna go on. Air is gonna come through my 1/4 inch NPT air hose nozzle right here through a 1/2 inch PVC pipe. And then all the coil inside is a 1/2 inch PVC pipe as well. Now you can do different designs. You can have like just like a T in here, a cross in here, whatever you want to do. I heated up my PVC, and then what I did is I put a whole bunch of holes, 1/8 inch holes drilled at the bottom of this coil all the way around. So when the air comes through here, it's gonna be blasting air out the bottom, and it's gonna percolate up through the other bucket. Now the whole plan for this to work is that there's a 2.5 inch area between the bottom of this bucket and the bottom of this bucket. And what I'm thinking is that as the air is going through, it liquefies all the material up here. It's going to settle all the heavy stuff into this 2 inch space. Is it gonna work? I don't know. I hope so. I think the science is there, and I'm really intrigued to do this. Now, there's a couple safety things we have to keep in mind, all right? I am dealing with air pressure. Now, I'm not gonna put more than 70 pounds from my air compressor into this whole system. Everything is rated, though, for 600 PSI. All the piping is rated for 600 PSI. Everything up here, besides the valve, is rated for 150 PSI. So you want to be careful adding air pressure to this stuff, because essentially it could become a bomb if it wants to explode. Enough of that. That's the biggest safety concern. Let's put it in the water and let's put some stuff inside of here. All right, I got my classifier all set up. I have about 30 pounds on the hose. I have the compressor over there. So I forgot to explain what the bungee straps are for. Now the bungee straps are there just because I'm thinking once I put pressure on the bottom area here, it might push this bucket up. So I have bungee straps, just one that goes around to this side and one that goes around and it goes this side, just to hold this bucket down when the air pressure is applied. Now there's not much bank space to work. I'm gonna work right here. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shovel this, take the big rocks, throw them off this side, but everything else I'm not gonna classify, just gonna go right into the bucket. I might add some water to it, thinking that might help liquefy the sediments in there, but let's see how it goes. Let's fill this bucket up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of water to here. Hopefully my bucket won't fall. This will allow me to rinse off some of my big rocks too, because I like rinsing my rocks off. So let's see how she works. The whole goal of this is to eventually be able to do this, and you know, maybe I can cut my classifying down to just a few seconds. That would be pretty cool. I'm already filling this up pretty fast. Take some of these rocks out of here. Kind of big. I'm not even sure if there's any gold right here. I hope there is. I don't know how much pressure is going to take to agitate everything. That I don't know. That's probably good. Okay, first step is done. All right, I just put pressure to it, about 75 pounds. Let's crack that valve open and hope for the best. Okay, here goes nothing. Come on. Oh, shoot. Oh, look at that, it's working. No way. Okay, I don't know how long to go for. I'm gonna let it go for maybe until the air pressure goes out. That's freaking cool. Okay, no more air pressure. So, that's done. All right, so about 75 pounds lasted a whopping maybe 8 to 10 seconds worth of flowage in the classifier. Now here's the next step. I'm gonna pull that top bucket out. I'm gonna classify that down into another bucket at 1/8 inch and run that through a sluice. If there's any gold in that top bucket, it's not working. Or maybe it is working, I don't know. But my whole thought is that I can keep doing this and the gravels at the bottom bucket are gonna get filled with heavier and heavier material, and all the gold should be sitting at the bottom of that bucket. So that's the plan. So let's get a sluice set up. Let's run this through and see if we have any gold in this top bucket. First thing we're gonna do is take off our bungee straps without hitting myself in the face. Like so. Maybe I don't need the bungee straps because the force of the weight of the bucket's enough to hold that bucket down. But now here's what I'm curious about. Is my 1/4 inch classifier at the bottom just gonna have stuff fall out of it? So I'm gonna take this out best that I can. And I'm gonna dump it into here. Come on, baby. Now I'm kind of curious to see what's at the bottom of this. So I'm gonna gently take this stuff and pour it out. Now I do have some sediment in there. You guys can see that okay? Not a lot. I actually thought I'd have a lot more in here, and I don't. So that's all right. This is all a test. I might have to run the water for maybe a lot longer. But let's classify this down in this bucket right here. Slap it in the sluice. See if we find any gold. Actually expected to see a lot less material in this bucket. I think we have to run it a little bit longer. But not bad for our first test. All right, let's pull it up. Let's see how well we did. Remember, we want no gold here. I'm not even sure if gold exists in that part, but it's all part of it. Okay, we did find some gold in that bucket. I count about 6 or 7 flakes in there. But let's try it again. All right, we're gonna go for our second bucket now. Now that first bucket, I would say that was a failure, but I don't really know, okay? Because I haven't really checked the gold at the bottom of this bucket. But having said that, I didn't run this before, so I didn't know what to expect. And now I think I know that I need to put more air to it for a longer amount of time. So that's what we're gonna do on this go around with this one. Maybe I can only fill the bucket up halfway. You know, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, and maybe this could be something people work on to maybe refine and get better. I'm just trying to think outside the box and try something a little different. I don't think that's ever hurt anything, to be honest with you. That's how greatness happens. But we do know we have gold here, so that is a good thing. All right, I say we're pretty full. Let's go ahead and put some air to it. Okay, I have my compressor running. Let's go ahead and turn it on and watch it percolate. I think most of the air is coming out from the sides right here. Maybe I gotta put like a gasket right here. I'm not sure. Go ahead and stop it and let the pump charge up some more. So yeah, I think I'm getting between the two buckets right here. I need to put like a piece of gasket material, maybe some foam around here, just to keep air from coming out of that area. Because I see a lot of air coming out of here and not so much out of here. Let's try it again. The bigger rocks are at the top. Okay, let's go ahead and shut it down, let it charge up again. The bigger rocks are at the top, so that's pretty cool. But I do feel a lot of gravel in there. A lot of sandy gravel in there, which I don't really like. Let's hit it again. Okay, let's let it charge up again. Here we go. We'll do one more time. It feels pretty compact in there, actually. Okay, last time. All right, let's shut it down and check our product. Okay, we're gonna run bucket number 2 now. So there it is right there. One piece right there, maybe one other piece over here somewhere, but definitely a piece of gold got through, and I'm sure there's probably some gold in here from my panning technique. Time to take a break a second, scratch our heads, see what's going on here. So I really thought this was going to work. I really thought it was going to work really well. I think maybe I'm putting too much material in the bucket. Maybe do a quarter bucket, just do a couple shovelfuls, and then just dump the bucket out, you know, test it through a sluice. I think there's just too much material in there. It feels super hard when I'm, you know, sticking my hand in there. So I think what we should do now is run that bucket of material that's at the very bottom where that coil is, run that through a sluice, maybe just pan it down and see what kind of gold we get out of that. If there's gold in there, then I know it's kind of working because gold is getting down to that very bottom stage. It's kind of iffy. Let's see. All right, so here's the fun part, trying to get the material out of here. So there is a pretty good amount. I'd say there's a good inch at the bottom of this. So I'm gonna try and leave it hooked up because I want to actually use the air to help push out if anything got inside of the holes. So I'm gonna go like this with it, try and do this as easy as possible here. I'm gonna splash. That's not so bad. Hopefully it's loaded with gold, right? How much is in there? Turn some air on here. All right, that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna get my sluice set back up again and we'll run this through because there is enough in here to run. And we'll pan it down and see how we do. Okay, this is the stuff from our first 2 buckets in here. It is classified at a 1/4 inch, this stuff. The other stuff was at an 1/8 inch. So I do have bigger, larger material in here. It's not a big deal. Okay. Okay, there is one little chunk in there, so technically it kind of worked. Technically. Let me show you the spec. Yeah, there it is right there. It's actually the biggest piece of the day that we found in that material. So what exactly does this all mean? Is this a failed attempt? I don't think it is. It may look like that. I found one speck at the bottom of that, but this was my first time doing this. This is my first time testing this. I really think I'm onto something possibly. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board, maybe change some things up. I've learned a little bit since then. If you guys have any suggestions of what you might want to do or have me do, please let me know, because I'll try and incorporate those, because I really do think this could possibly work. Is it practical for the everyday prospector? No way. Unless you do have power and air, it ain't gonna benefit you. It's not gonna work. But like I said, I have a couple ideas already rattling around this big old head of mine that I'm gonna try and put to work and see if we can get it. So this is gonna be called test video 1. We'll try and do a test video 2 in a couple weeks. I have a lot coming up and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry it wasn't what you were hoping for. I know you're hoping for a big win on this. I was too, but that's part of testing out new equipment and doing things yourself. Sometimes you're gonna have triumphs, sometimes you're gonna have failures. You gotta learn from them and keep moving on. Until next time, stay safe, heavy pans, Stoney's out, and I'll catch you on the next one.